All men dream, but not equally. Those who dream by night, in the dusty recesses of their minds, wake in the day to find that it was vanity. But the dreamers of the day are dangerous men, for they may act their dream with open eyes to make it possible.
When Uncharted 2 came out back in 2009, it was one of the best games I've played on this console generation. You had never seen a game like this. There were times that you thought you were playing a movie. That was one of the big appeals of Uncharted 2, and now Naughty Dog has decided to take our favorite globe-trotting playboy on another adventure in Uncharted 3: Drake's Deception. Today I take a look at the third chapter in the series. Will this be the best game on the PlayStation 3, or will it fall short? The Game Machine starts now.
Cutter. It's all there. Now let's see it.
Nathan Drake and his crew of thieves, treasure hunters, are looking for the lost city in the desert. Not only does Drake have to figure out where this city is, but he's also being followed by a woman named Marlowe, who is also looking for the city herself, and seems pretty hell-bent on making sure Drake doesn't find it. Along the way, there are many plot twists and action-filled moments, as you go all around the world. Uncharted 3 accomplishes this by having some action-packed set pieces and some great fights. There are times that the pace can drag a little bit, like when Drake is wandering through the desert, and it almost feels like they're trying to stretch it out a little bit too much. You will get a good 9 to 10 hours out of the campaign. If you haven't played any of the others, at least play the second one, because you will go in this not knowing anything about the characters in the story. Uncharted 3 has a fantastic story and is presented very well. It may be debatable which one is your favorite, but make no question about it. Uncharted 3 is one of the best games on the PlayStation 3, if not this console generation. If I had to compare Uncharted 3 to something, it wouldn't be another game. No, that would be unfair. I would compare it to a hot supermodel that you would drool over for hours. Or, for you ladies out there, Jason Statham. Seriously. It is that good looking. You may end up trying to make love to your TV. All the characters look so lifelike, not only graphically, but in the way they move. It's really like watching real actors in a movie. Environments look amazing and dynamic. Watching the desert sand blow, and little effects like that just make the game stand out. Watching environments crumble before you have never looked so great. Uncharted 3 is one of the best looking games out there, and had to ever have graced a Sony platform. Also, unlike Jason Statham or that hot model, you may actually have a chance with it. Not only does Uncharted 3 look smoking hot, it sounds incredible. Great orchestral tracks make this game, once again, feel like you're watching an amazing film. Even the sounds you hear, like the sand blowing in the desert, creaks and groans you hear on a giant boat, Uncharted 3 has amazing sound design that really makes you feel immersed in the world. Uncharted wouldn't be what it is without the amazing cast of actors. All the actors are fantastic, and what we'd expect out of a blockbuster game. Graphics, sound, story are just the icing on an amazing cake, and now we get into the cake itself.
You're unusually quiet. What's up your bum?
Oh, well, Charlie seemed to enjoy himself a little bit too much for my taste. My ears are still ringing.
Oh, for God's sake.
Like in the other games, you'll be shooting, taking cover, doing puzzles, and climbing over things. Shooting bad guys is satisfying, although sometimes they seem to eat a few more bullets than others.
Oh boy.
Taking cover works for the most part. I did have a couple of moments where I felt like I should be able to take cover behind certain walls, and it just wouldn't let me. You can blind fire your gun and take cover. You can even sneak up behind enemies too and take them out. Melee combat, I had to use that quite a few times. And I felt like I had to use it way too much to get out of certain situations, because it would just be much quicker than pulling out my gun and shooting. The AI on normal setting is very smart, and if you're not careful, they will flank you. Puzzles in the game are not super challenging, although I will admit I suck at puzzles. And I got stuck a couple of times. Eventually though, if you get really stuck, the game will show you what you need to do. And then you will realize, oh man, I can't believe I missed that. God, I suck. Now we get into the multiplayer, and you've got many options this time around. Of course you have the typical multiplayer matches that you would have found in Uncharted 2, and that can be a lot of fun. But my only gripe is that it's very hard to retaliate if someone gets close behind you. Then there is the co-op story missions that you can play with up to 3 people. The stories aren't as amazing as the main campaign, but it's a nice way to spend time with friends and have an Uncharted experience in a small, bite-sized portion. You know, like cake. Uncharted 3 is a fantastic game, and anyone who has played any of the other games must do themselves a favor and play this game. Even if you aren't a huge multiplayer fan like myself, the 9 to 10 hour story is reason enough just to play it. For me, it's just as good as Uncharted 2, and isn't that reason enough to go on an adventure? So, till next time, game on.